Most people come to San Francisco for the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, or Fisherman's Wharf. I came for something else, the food. With only 24 hours in the city, I went on a food tour to visit 6 of San Francisco's most iconic food destinations, from neighborhood favorites to world-renowned restaurants. These are the places consistently recommended by locals, food critics, and YouTubers. The question is, are they worth the hype? So I'll be scoring each one on taste, value, overall experience, and if I come back. And as always, I'm not a professional food critic. These are simply my honest opinions. Hopefully you see something you like. Alright, let's eat. The Mission Burrito is one of San Francisco's most famous foods. I'm hitting up El Farolito. Let's go. I landed in San Francisco just in time for lunch, so there was only one place to start. El Farolito in the heart of the Mission District. The Mission District is where the famous Michelin-style burrito was born. Compared to the burritos I'm used to in LA, the biggest difference is the addition of cheese, sour cream, and guacamole, making a much richer and creamier bite. The restaurant has a huge menu, plenty of indoor seating, and even a patio out back, but I already knew exactly what I was ordering. Hi, how's it going?
How about you, more?
Good. What is your most popular item here?
So there's super burritos and a super quesadilla suita. It's very good, man.
Okay, I'm gonna do the super burrito with asada,
Uh-huh.
with everything.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do 2 tacos, one with lengua and one with carnitas.
Cilantro, onion, salsa.
Everything.
Thank you, man.
That's it. Thank you so much. I went with 2 tacos, lengua and carnitas, and of course, their famous super burrito with carne asada. After my East LA taco tour, I couldn't come to another legendary taqueria without trying the tacos. Both are generously packed with meat. The carnitas had great flavor but was a little dry, while the lengua was a standout. Tender, juicy, and full of rich, beefy flavor. But let's be honest, I came here for the burrito. The super burrito is massive and packed with steak, rice, beans, cheese, sour cream, guacamole, and salsa. My first bite was honestly just okay. The carne asada was a little drier than I expected, but once I started adding their house salsas, everything came together. The sour cream, melted cheese, fresh guacamole, and salsa balanced out the meat and made each bite more enjoyable. I actually found myself preferring the Mission style burrito over the classic LA version. The extra ingredients make it richer, creamier, and a little more indulgent. Alright, here are my scores for El Farolito. Taste 7. The meats were slightly dry, but the excellent salsas brought everything together. Value 8. At $11.25 for a super burrito and $4.75 per taco, the prices are very comparable to what I'd expect to pay in LA. Overall 7. A solid burrito and a great introduction to San Francisco's Mission style burritos. Would I come back? Probably not on my next trip. There are too many legendary taquerias in San Francisco that I want to try first. If you're enjoying this video, please remember to like and subscribe. We're heading to the original Tartine Bakery here in San Francisco. It's one of the most famous bakeries in the US. Let's go. What started here in San Francisco in 2002 has grown into an internationally recognized bakery, with locations across the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and even South Korea. Their legendary country bread takes about 36 hours to make, and their cookbook has inspired home bakers and professional chefs around the world. Everything looked incredible, but I narrowed it down to 2 of their most popular items. Okay, so I'm gonna order I'm gonna get an order of the morning bun and the chocolate croissant, please. Perfect. For here, thank you. As someone who loves the croissants at Artisanal Goods by Car back home in Pasadena, I was excited to see how Tartine compared. The chocolate croissant had a beautifully crisp exterior, with buttery, flaky layers all the way through. The chocolate was rich without being overly sweet, making it an excellent pastry. That said, I still give a slight edge to Artisanal Goods by Car. Their croissant is just a little more buttery, a little flakier, and has a more generous amount of chocolate. Then came the pastry Tartine is famous for, the morning bun. Made from laminated dough, rolled with cinnamon, sugar, and fresh orange zest. It bakes into this perfect combination of crispy on the outside and light and flaky layers on the inside. It wasn't overly sweet, and that bright citrus from the orange zest completely elevated the pastry. I've honestly never had anything quite like it. If it's your first time to Tartine, the morning bun is an absolute must order. Here are my scores for Tartine Bakery. Taste 8. The morning bun completely stole the show and was unlike anything I've ever had before. Value 8. Prices are right in line with other high-end bakeries in both San Francisco and Los Angeles. Overall, 8. It's easy to understand why Tartine has become one of the most respected bakeries in the country. Would I come back? Absolutely. There were so many pastries and breads I wanted to try that one visit definitely wasn't enough. When you're walking around San Francisco, how can you not get ice cream? Next up, Bi-Rite Creamery. Just a short walk from Tartine Bakery is Bi-Rite Creamery, another San Francisco institution. Since opening in 2006, Bi-Rite has become one of the city's most famous ice cream shops. Everything is made in small batches using high quality ingredients like organic dairy and seasonal produce. And their salted caramel has become one of their most talked about ice cream flavors in the country. Let me know in the comments if you say caramel or caramel. Hi, what's your most popular flavor? Salted caramel? Can I get a taste of that? Thank you. Oh. That's good. I'm gonna order the small salted caramel and the roasted banana, please. The roasted banana tasted like perfectly caramelized bananas with a rich, almost banana bread-like sweetness. It was smooth, creamy, and tasted incredible. Then there was the salted caramel, and now I understand why everyone talks about it. It was rich and buttery with a deep caramel flavor, balanced perfectly by just the right amount of sea salt. The best part was eating both flavors together. The roasted banana and salted caramel complemented each other perfectly, creating a combination that was rich, balanced, and absolutely delicious. Alright, here are my scores for Bi-Rite Creamery. Taste 9. These flavors were on another level. Value 8. $3.50 for 2 scoops. I thought it was a great value for premium small batch ice cream. 2 scoops were more than enough for me. Overall, 9. This absolutely lives up to its reputation as one of San Francisco's iconic dessert spots. Would I come back? Without a doubt. I don't care how long the line is. I'd happily wait for another scoop. Tonight, I'm wearing a nicer shirt. We're heading to State Bird Provisions. This Michelin-starred restaurant serves most of its dishes from dim sum style carts. Let's go. For dinner, we made our way to State Bird Provisions, one of San Francisco's most acclaimed restaurants and a Michelin-starred dining destination. What makes this place unique is that instead of ordering everything from a menu, many of the dishes are served from rolling carts or carried around the dining room on trays, inspired by the experience of dim sum. You never know what's coming next, which makes the entire meal feel interactive and exciting. The restaurant was packed, but luckily we were able to grab seats at the bar. Honestly, I don't mind it at all. It gave us a front row seat to watch the chefs work. We ordered a mix of dishes from the menu while also saying yes to some of the small plates making their way around the dining room. The king salmon tartare was an incredible way to start the meal, fresh, delicate, and beautifully balanced. The Hokkaido scallops were sweet, buttery, and incredibly fresh. The smoked trout chip and dip completely surprised me. It looked simple, but it packed so much flavor. And then there were the Hog Island oysters. These were some of the freshest oysters I've ever had. They were buttery, creamy, and perfectly complemented by the vinaigrette. They didn't even need a squeeze of lemon. From the main menu, we started with the steak tartare on toast, which was phenomenal. The rich, tender beef paired with the crisp toast made for one of my favorite bites of the night. One of the coolest moments was when the head chef that night, Ashwin, found out I was celebrating my birthday. He surprised me with their sourdough, sauerkraut, pecorino, ricotta pancakes. I'll admit, I wasn't sure those flavors would work together, but somehow they absolutely did. Warm bread, creamy cheese, and the tang from the sauerkraut created a combination that was surprisingly addictive. Next up was the restaurant's signature dish, the California State Bird. The fried quail had a beautifully crispy coating with great flavor from the Parmesan. I personally would have preferred a lighter batter to let the quail shine a little more, but it's easy to see why this has become their signature dish. The local bluefin crudo was another standout. The fresh tuna, spicy avocado serrano sauce, sweet nectarines, and Thai basil come together in one perfectly balanced bite. But my favorite dish of the night was easily the Lone Mountain Wagyu. The beef was cooked to a perfect medium rare and melted in your mouth. The XO sauce added a subtle kick, while the mushrooms and Thai basil rounded everything out with earthy, slightly sweet flavors. Every bite was outstanding. To finish the evening, Ashwin surprised me once again with their roasted strawberry ice cream sandwich for my birthday. While the cookie wasn't my favorite part, the strawberry ice cream, rhubarb, and candied almonds made for a fantastic dessert. So did State Bird Provisions deserve its Michelin star? Taste 9.5. Nearly every dish we tried was exceptional, and there wasn't a single course that disappointed. Value 9. Our bill came to $253, which I thought was very fair considering the quality, creativity, and amount of food we received at a Michelin-starred restaurant. Overall 10. This was easily one of the best dining experiences I've ever had and worth every penny. Would I come back? Absolutely. Since the menu changes with the seasons and fresh seafood availability, every visit would be a completely different experience. If you're a foodie visiting San Francisco, this is the one reservation I tell you not to miss.
Good morning. I need my coffee. Headed to Coffee Movement. Let's go.
After making the 5-block climb up the hill, we made it to Coffee Movement. Coffee Movement is a tiny standing room only cafe that has become one of San Francisco's most popular specialty coffee shops. And of course, when we arrived, there was a line. The good news, because they keep their menu small and focus on quality over quantity, the line moved pretty quickly. They also have a small outdoor standing area where you can enjoy your coffee while watching the historic cable cars roll by. A very San Francisco experience.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a regular hot latte with whole milk. Yes, for here. Thank you.
I ordered their latte and it was excellent. The espresso was rich and flavorful without any bitterness, and the milk added a smooth, silky sweetness that complemented the coffee without overpowering it. Here are my scores for Coffee Movement. Taste 8. A very balanced latte with high quality espresso. That's all you need. Value 9. At around $5 for a specialty coffee latte of this quality, it's a great value for San Francisco. Overall 8. Would I go back? Yes, especially if I'm in the neighborhood. San Francisco has so many incredible specialty coffee shops and bakeries that I still want to explore. But Coffee Movement definitely deserves a spot on the list. Cioppino was born in San Francisco. Today for lunch, I'm at Sotto Mare. Can't wait. Located in San Francisco's historic North Beach neighborhood, Sotto Mare opened in 2007 inside a building that dates back to 1919. Before this trip, I didn't realize that Cioppino was actually invented in San Francisco. I always assumed it was an Italian dish brought over from Italy. So when I saw Sotto Mare's signature dish was called the best damn crab cioppino, I knew I had to try it. Walking inside, the restaurant has that classic old school seafood market feel. Small, cozy, and full of character. Luckily, we arrived right when they opened for lunch, so we were able to get a table right away. We heard their famous cioppino was massive, so we decided to keep things simple and started with a dozen fresh oysters. 6 from the West Coast and 6 from the East Coast. The West Coast oysters from Washington were larger, softer, and had a creamier texture. The East Coast oysters from Maryland were smaller, firmer, and had a slightly saltier flavor. Which one was better? Honestly, I'm the wrong guy to ask. They were both incredible. I usually like my oysters with just a squeeze of lemon and a few drops of hot sauce, but the cocktail sauce that came with these oysters was surprisingly good. The tangy, slightly sweet sauce paired perfectly with the mild, salty flavor and delicate texture of the oysters. Then came the main event. This massive bowl of cioppino arrived loaded with crab, mussels, clams, squid, bay scallops, and a little bit of pasta, all swimming in a hot, flavorful tomato-based seafood broth. Bib on, and it was time to get to work. Every piece of seafood was cooked perfectly. Everything tasted fresh, sweet, clean, and delicate. There was none of that overly fishy or salty seafood flavor. Just high quality seafood letting the ingredients speak for themselves. The broth was rich and savory, but not overly spicy and not dominated by tomato. You could really taste the clam juice and all the seafood cooked into the broth. And of course, you can't go to San Francisco without dipping some famous sourdough bread into that broth. After a couple refills of bread, we finally managed to finish the entire bowl. Here are my scores for Sotto Mare. Taste 9. Could you make cioppino at home? Sure, but would it taste like this? Probably not. The combination of fresh seafood and that flavorful broth is what makes this special. Value 9. That giant bowl of Cioppino was $55. Split between 2 people, that's about $27.50 each for a high quality seafood lunch in San Francisco. Absolutely worth it. Overall 9. The oysters were great, the Cioppino was great, the service was great. Overall, just a great San Francisco food experience. Will I be coming back? Yes. Maybe not tomorrow, but at some point in my life, I will definitely be back. With that final lunch, my 24-hour food tour of San Francisco comes to an end. So were the food critics and YouTubers right about these spots? Honestly, yes. If you're visiting San Francisco and you love food, every one of these places deserves a spot on your list. Each one has something unique, from iconic classics to hidden gems that represent what makes the city's food scene so special. Would I come back to all these places? Absolutely. The only problem is, San Francisco has so many incredible restaurants, bakeries, and coffee shops that there are still dozens more places I want to try first. Now I want to hear from you. What spots did I miss? What are the must-visit spots I need to check out on my next trip? Leave your recommendations in the comments below, because who knows, maybe there's a part 2 coming soon.
Born in San Francisco.
With buttery flakery, with a rich, almost banana-like bread. Banana-like bread. Nice. I love supporting small businesses and sharing their stories. Go show them some love. Their info's in the description below. If I've earned your support, please consider subscribing. Drop a comment if you know a small business with a story worth sharing. In the meantime, check out one of these videos, or this one, to learn a bit more about me. See you in the next one.